So our first speaker, I'm really pleased to present, is Marie-Josephe de Villers. She's from France. She's the co-chair of the International Coalition for the Abolition of Surrogate Motherhood, and she's a member of the WDI French-speaking team. She's going to talk to you about the new book on surrogacy. So welcome, Marie-Josephe, and over to you.
First of all, I'm delighted to show you the books we have just published on surrogacy. They are just behind me, as there is one which was published by Spinifex in Austria, which is called Towards the Abolition of Surrogate Motherhood. And the other one here in French. And well, as ICASM, the International Coalition for the Abolition of Surrogate Motherhood, we thought that publishing a book might be a way to have access to the media. We also thought it would be a wonderful mean to gather all these voices already standing against surrogacy, against the reproductive exploitation of women and commodification of children. And here we are, so proud to have achieved it, and so thankful to Spinifex, to Australia, to back us up and support this project. So amazed that 16 authors from so many different countries responded to our call for contributions. Journalists, academics, activists. The English version, as you can see, is called Towards the Abolition of Surrogate Motherhood. We are also thankful to L'Échappée, the French publisher, who agreed to publish the French version with 26 contributions. It is called in English, Womb to Rent, a feminist critique of surrogacy. A Spanish version is due at the end of 2022. These two books are very important. Please read them and get other people to read them. It showed the reality of surrogacy from different angles: feminism, of course, history, technosciences, tradition, neoliberalism, language, eugenics, and so on. It's a mine of useful information and arguments. You will also recognize some big names like Melissa Farley, Taina Bien-Aimé, Catherine Lynch, Phyllis Chesler, Renata Klein, and so many others as important from Sweden, Italy, Japan, Spain, UK, USA, India, Austria, and France. If you don't know much about surrogacy, read it. If you know a lot, read it also, as it goes far beyond what we are used to say or to hear about surrogacy. And now I'm going to tell you what's up about surrogacy around the world. Let's start with 3 bad news. First, the Hague Conference on Private International Law has appointed a group of 20 experts to write a draft protocol on parentage in the context of surrogacy. They have been working on it for 8 years. In 2023, the 85 state members of the Hague Conference will vote for or against this protocol. We are very worried they vote in favor of it, as it would fuel the surrogacy market and organize surrogacy worldwide. Second, the Verona Principles. It was written by an NGO called ISS, standing for International Social Services. It was meant to be a guideline for states on parentage. This is also something very different, very dangerous, I mean, as under the guise of children's best interests, They are violating women's right for the sole benefit of commissioning parents and for the market. Please join our campaign against these two attempts to open up to surrogacy worldwide. The link, I will share the link to this campaign and to this petition on the chat, in the chat. And the campaign is in French, English, and Spanish. Last bad news, Ireland is also trying to open up to surrogacy. Together with the organization called Stop Surrogacy Now, UK, we are also trying to counter this attempt. Please, anybody from Ireland, contact us to join in this campaign. But also, let's have good news now. In Milano, Italy, feminists managed to cancel a baby fair. As surrogacy is not allowed in Italy, a surrogacy fair is considered an infringement to the law. Feminist organizations set up a huge conference to celebrate this victory 2 weeks ago with feminists organization and also political people. In Italy again, the Justice Commission responsible for drafting laws has adopted a text proposing to prosecute surrogacy as a universal crime. In Spain now, the Supreme Court wrote in a case that surrogacy violates the rights of pregnant mothers and children, not only in surrogacy, but also in general, which is a very important statement. And the European Parliament, in the report they've issued on the impact of the war against Ukraine on women, condemned officially surrogacy. It states that sexual exploitation for surrogacy and reproduction is unacceptable and a violation of human dignity and human rights. In the chat, you will find the link to the report. These few cases suggest some positive developments, at least in the jurisdiction of the countries mentioned. If you happen to know something about such information in your countries, please share them with us. It would be very useful for our work as coalition. And thank you very much for your attention. And please read this book and get other people to read them.
What is the organization that you're in, ICASM? How long has it been going and what does it do?
We've started this organization 4 years ago in 2018. And at that time, we were fighting against another attempt in France, in Europe, I mean, to push up for surrogacy in the European Commission. And we gathered 37 French organizations against surrogacy, and we organized a huge rally in front of the European Commission. And therefore, we thought that surrogacy was no longer a national question, but an international question. We decided on the spot to start a coalition, an international coalition. And in 4 years, we've been doing quite a lot of job. I mean, first of all, it was to link all these organizations, feminist organizations, fighting against surrogacy around the world. And now we've got 41 members, on organization members and others individuals on 14 countries and 3 continents. We've got members in Japan, in Australia, also in South Korea, in Canada, Colombia, in Sweden, in Ukraine, also in Austria, Italy, Belgium, France, of course, and Spain, yes, and UK also, yes.
Do you have to be an organization to become a member, or could individuals join?
We would gladly welcome any individual to join the coalition, and also organizations. So far, we've got, I think, something like 50 individual members.
Do you send newsletters, or do you have webinars that women, or I guess, do you have male members as well, or is it just women?
We've mainly got a feminist organization as members and also women as members. We've got, I think, 2 male members, I think, on the whole, but mainly they are there to provide funding, which is welcome. It is welcome, really.
So if you speak French or would like to listen in French, that's also something to follow up on, either via the website or get on the mailing list for WDI France and that, or the francophone webinars. That would be useful, and we'll try to share them. So,
and also, Joe, you asked if we had a newsletter. Yes, we have a newsletter, and we are issuing it every 2 months, I think. And in this newsletter, we are trying to spread the news on surrogacy around the world. It's very important to be connected, to be all the time connected to what's happening to surrogacy around the world. It is very important. We are talking to CEDAW, the CEDAW committee, to have surrogacy listed amongst violence against women. And that's also part of our job. And we are, if this year we had two report on of the European Parliament talking about surrogacy. It was our work of lobbying towards the European Parliament. And for example, now we're supporting what's going on. What we are trying to do something about Ireland, but also about New Zealand. And we're trying also to do something about Thailand, who, after having banned surrogacy, transnational surrogacy for foreigners in Thailand, they are going to open it against. On one reason, it's to have more foreign currencies. So it's really selling women. There are some more and more young women against surrogacy, I must say, but they are against surrogacy as soon as they know what surrogacy is. Because how can they get to the information to know what surrogacy really is? They don't know much about pregnancy. They've not been through pregnancy first. They don't know that pregnancy is something risky for anybody. And they don't know that in surrogacy, the risk is much heavier than in normal pregnancy. And they don't know that there are a lot of surrogate mothers who have died through surrogacy. They pity this poor couple, these poor gay people not being able to have children, but they don't care about the mothers, the surrogate mothers behind. And they only take the point for the commissioning parents, never for the surrogate.